Hello everyone and welcome to Great Learning. My name is Anugrah. Today we'll be discussing on data science career transition during COVID, and we have our alumni Suryan Saxena with us, who is working as an associate consultant in Chi-Square Analytics and also had made the transition during the COVID time itself. Please feel free to post all your queries in the chat window, and we'll be taking all the questions at the end of this presentation. So, without any further ado, we will start with the discussion. Over to you, Suryansh.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Anugrah. So, hi everyone. As Anugrah has already mentioned, so right now I'm working as an associate consultant in data science field in Chi-Square Analytics, and also I was my main transition in data science field basically occurs in the December of 2018 when I joined the course of Great Lakes PGBDSE. And right now, as I said, I'm working as an associate consultant. And before this, now let me just start my presentation. So basically, I'm going to discuss with you on the topic that is a data science career transition during the COVID-19 situation. So I'm right now explaining to you my professional journey. Here I'm actually I want to start my career in data science when I was in the last year of my college. I was uh, I was pursuing BTech from EC. So in the last year of my college, I basically got taste and flavor of actually data science is. And basically, in the last year of college, I was very much intrigued and enthralled by the fact that how can I utilize this power of data science and try to build something innovative, try to build something new which can predict and actually can help to solve various problem issues, whether it can be regarding any particular business client or any sort of thing, or maybe in the social segment. So I was mostly inspired by the fact that how can I take the social sector issues, and with the help of data science, I can particularly analyze the data, solve the data, understand the data, intuit through the data, and try to resolve the issues which we have in our society and also other social aspects. So in the last year of my college, I tried to create a major project which was related in the data science field only. So at that time, particularly demonetization happened during 2017. So I tried to create a sentiment analysis of demonetization, which was conducted by Narendra Modi at that time. So by using data from the Twitter, I extracted out, and that was my first, face off and a bit of flavor of data science. So I was easily able to understand, and I was actually extracted out a result that with the help of the sentiment analysis, we could understand that what the actual crowd, the unbiased, review of audiences is actually explaining that, okay, at that time that particular amount of people are in favor of what the step the government has taken. So at that time, placements also took place from my college. So I was placed in Accenture. Now in Accenture, what happened is I was working there. I got a job offer from Accenture from my campus placement. So I was given some tasks and the job and roles and responsibilities. Those are not in the data science field, but I was very much looking forward to it. So at that time, I actually tried by myself to go and view and try to extract out, explore the data science opportunities as much as possible. And at that time, I would say I was not having much knowledge. Also, I was although keen on learning new things, keen on expanding my knowledge segments in particularly this, but I was facing some issues. I was not able to properly manage it. Then I became a part of Great Lakes PGBDSE batch, and I got abundance of knowledge related to data science. My knowledge, my curiosity, I just got filled up with this, and I also got the placement opportunity here. So I got a job opportunity as a data scientist at Global 360 through Great Learning, and then my journey in the data science actually starts. So in the last year only, I was working. From the last year, I was working as a data scientist there. So in the whole 1 year of experience, I have explored a lot. I have learned a lot. I have basically, seen a lot of creativeness and curiosity that needs to be indulged in someone else to actually look over the aspects at how we need to understand a particular problem statement and how breaking it in the form of chunks, we really need to implement different models, and we really need to understand different problem statements and try to create an architecture of the data for that. Then right now, during this COVID situation, I recently got a job offer. So I think I got a job offer in July. So I'm currently working as a associate consultant at Chi-Square Analytics from June 2020. So I just did my transition, one more transition in data science field in COVID-19 situation only. So first of all, I just want to make you much more, you know, explaining you about some very basic details about that what basically is data science is, as this is a very common Venn diagram. Each and every person has who is actually willing to do a transition in data science might have seen it, that data science is not only particularly resemble a particular field. It basically a combination and amalgamation of three different fields, which consist of mathematics, domain expertise, and computer science. So data science is basically the collection of utilizing the power of mathematics and the programming languages which we have, understanding the scenarios and the phenomena by using the mathematics, the statistics portions, the research in the statistics, the understanding of how we can mathematically we can actually prove certain thing, and utilizing all these details in a particular domain on which we actually want to provide a solution. So it is an amalgamation of all these three fields, and basically it is not necessary that if a person is having only the detail of computer science, then it is very simple to acquire the knowledge of data science. Each and every part plays a very key role, a very important role in your data science journey. So it is very important to take consideration of all three different points: mathematics, computer science, and domain experience. So now let me just take you, let's go through over that what is a very simple, a basic, life cycle basically goes on in data science field. If you are, working as a data, whether you're working as a data scientist or whether you're working as a data analyst, business analyst, data engineer. So all these usually follow a simple chain, a simple life cycle. That's a project life cycle, which is very common in every data science field. So what happens is that as you can look over the visual representation in the presentation, that uh, whenever there is some requirements raised from the client, or any requirements, any problem statement which we believe that we need to discuss about it, we need to create a solution about it. So first of all, what the basic step we start from is to acquire the data, to first of all understand the problem, what we are trying to resolve here, what we are trying to solve some situation here. So for that we actually try to acquire the data as much as possible about it. And in acquiring that data, we look over various aspects. We look over the various segments through which we can, connect and try to acquire the data. Like for example, from the databases, from different type of data base which we use, and web servers. And after extracting out all those data, we try to, prepare our data by cleaning and transforming as per the requirements which we have, as per the problem statement actually requires. And then the part of exploring it, the exploring of the data analysis actually begins. So basically here we select particular columns. We try to filter out of each and every columns by looking over the correlation, by looking over the aspects through the statistics point of view, that how these particular variables can actually relate to the particular target which we are looking forward, the particular statement which we are trying to resolve through it. And after understanding what are the particular features about it, then we basically try to utilize the power of maths and the computer science, and that is various algorithms. So basically algorithms are nothing but it's a portion of statistical methods by using the power of computational also, so that we could try to resolve and provide a solution, predict something uh, as much as possible about any solution. So there are many algorithms about it. We try to model it, we try to understand it, utilize it in such a way that we would be able to, after looking over the data, after exploring the data, we could understand and create something, the prediction which we actually want to do. Then after the prediction, it is very important, does that prediction, does that model which we are trying to create, is this really predicting the right manner or not? Because that's what important. It's not necessary that whatever we are trying to utilize any sort of algorithm, it just gives us an output, but we need to verify that also. We need to validate it, that does the outputs are really actually matching up with the scenarios and with the things which are happening right now in the real life scenarios. So for that, visualizations and communications actually take place, and we try to understand that okay, our modeler is producing such kind of results, and if we visualize them, so how they are keeping up pace with the actual values which we have. And then after understanding all these things, we actually deploy our models. We actually deploy our models with the motive that we will, time to time we have to take out the data, take out the predictions which we are doing, and then matching those predictions with the already utilized values about the data, and then try to match it up that in the real life scenarios, our predictions is actually matching up with what the particular product or what the problem statement we are trying to deal with is happening or not. So for that, this procedure takes a bit time. We try to understand it. We try to look over it, how much this thing is happening, and we look over the results of our modeling, and then we try to question ourselves: is there any chance of improvement? Is there any chance of much more going through certain variables? We can look about certain more data points which we can think about, which can actually improve the performance and performance of our models. So this is the whole life cycle basically happens in the data science. So it's not a continuous one single field that we actually apply our models. The models are pre-created and we try to apply them. No, it's not like that. We really need to look over the aspects. We need to try to understand what data is actually speaking through it, what data is actually trying to create an image about it, and what the image we are getting from the data, is it really matching with the problem statements which we are trying to solve. So this is what very necessary. While doing a transition, we need to we need to understand here the power doesn't lie in the hands of algorithm, but lies in the hand of data. You need to be much more clear to our understanding of data, and correlating yourself with the data in such a way that without even applying the algorithm, you can easily understand it and try to resolve with your intuition, or maybe try to resolve with certain critical thinking manner that you could relate them, and you could predict on your ways that this will really impact if it comes into the market scenario. Now my next portion is about roles in data science. So we all know that there are when it comes to data science field, many roles and responsibilities are being divided among the people in so many ways. But if we go through right now situation, I would preferably be say that earlier we can say that each and every aspect, roles and responsibilities which are related to a particular job. Like for example, business analyst if we take, or a data analyst we take. So data analyst, the most common jobs, roles and responsibilities of a data analyst is to crunch the data, to perform an exploratory data analysis over the data which we get, and also to understand that how if we can improve, and how we can take out certain scenarios which can actually help us in building a model for that. Whereas if we talk about business analyst, the business analyst is basically a person who try to extract out the minute to minute details and try to understand from the business aspect, and then connect those business aspects in such a way with the data, so that the extraction out of data and the understanding of data becomes much more clear with respect to the clients, so that when we try to predict something on it, or when we try to create something on it, by understanding the business aspect over it and applying the statistics and proving our client or proving ourselves also that okay, the model which we are going to create about it, or the predictions which we are trying to create about it, are going to be effective as per the statistics points of view. So all these things are basically the simple job roles and responsibilities which we already know. But I believe during this current scenario, as per the COVID-19 situations, it is very important that we should not go by the tags, we should not go by the designation. Like it should not be like a data analyst is not given any sort of the flavor of machine learning, or a data engineer is never become a part of applying some mathematical solutions, or using the statistical portion. I believe right now, as per the situation, due to this COVID-19 situation, any person who is looking do a transition in data science field must make this common point in his mind, that instead of going towards focusing more towards I want to become a data analyst, or I want to become a data engineer, maybe because of my experience, whatever it is, I particularly say that it is very much important that a person have a 360 view of all the important aspects which happens in a basically data science field, whether it includes things like programming tools or data visualization and communication, or whether it's machine learning, software engineering, or multivariable calculus and linear algebra. All these things, person really need to have a taste about it. It doesn't mean that you need to have a proficiency level of next to an expert, and it is not required at that, because most of the things are basically depend upon the organization also, that how organization is giving you the flavor of that data science field. But it is very important to make yourself very much favorable with all the fields, which all kind of things that happen in the journey of data science, so that you could not feel uh, this whole process a very cumbersome. It becomes very relatable to you, and you can easily relate, and you could easily apply these knowledges with you. But yeah, there are certainly some aspects which I believe everyone needs to work on it, and those are just on a very basic level, and those are the programming tools. So programming tools basically consist of our programming languages, or the IDE environments, which we say, and that is Python, R. And for Python and R, we particularly use like RStudio or Jupyter Notebooks or Spiders, like all these. So we really need to have our efficiency and proficiency very good when it comes to programming tools, because to apply all these things, to solve all these things, it becomes very important that we need to have a language in our hand through which we can play with the data as much as possible. And similarly, I would say SQL also is a very important language, because SQL plays a role of extracting out the data as much as possible with the when we connect with the web servers, or when we connect with the databases. So SQL is a language which we use mostly used by the organization, but we can use Python also for that. Like I mostly prefer Python using it, but SQL is being used in most of the organizations. So it becomes very important to have an understanding of SQL on a very good manner, on a very good way also. Next is about the data visualization and communication. So data visualization and communication, basically what I meant here is there are some tools, visualization tools, which actually help us to create sort of reports, create sort of analysis by producing various charts, by producing various tables, or we can say dashboards, in such a way that we can collect our all the important insights and inferences on a particular we can say on a particular screen, and try to represent it for better understanding of not only ourselves but to the one which we are sharing it. So when it comes to data visualization, we can see the Tableau and Power BI. These are the two tools which have been used highly in the industry. And I think getting a very prior experience about it, I mean just a flavor about it, it always plays a good role. It always reflects very good on your resume, that if you have information, if you have an just a little bit of experience that how Tableau really works and how Power BI actually looks like. So that also reflects that, okay, this person or whatever the person who is trying to apply for the job is having a kind of flavor about what the dashboards actually mean, and how we can create a story tell sort of thing from that. So it is also very important. Third point which I have included is about the data intuition. Now data intuition here, what I mean is that before applying any machine learning algorithms to our data, as I have earlier said, that our mind should be in such a way that we are able to critically think about the aspects and try to understand that what are the particular variables which can actually impact the business if this machine learning algorithm is being used. So we need to we need to develop such kind of intuition when it comes to data, and that actually comes with a more and more experience. The more and more experience you give yourself by exposing yourself with a lot of data, different kind of data, and try to manipulate, engineer, or transform that data as much as possible. So such kind of when you play with your data as much as possible, you will feel that you are easily able to create a intuition towards data, which can actually help in while applying or creating certain sort of modeling aspects, or applying certain algorithms, because it will clearly emphasize your mind to look over different algorithms and try to filter out what are the particular algorithms we need to use and how we can utilize them in a better way. Similarly, statistics also plays a very important role, because whatever the thing which we are using, which we are applying, so it becomes very important to look whether we can prove it mathematically or not. Because at the end, those are the strict, I would say, not the strict, but those are the proofs. Those are the facts. It becomes a fact of our on the of our basis of our modeling aspects, or basis of our whatever the insights we are trying to explore, or inferences which we are trying to explain that. And the statistics, for that, we in the statistics we basically use t-test, f-test, ANOVA test, and hypothesis testing, all these aspects. So we also need to have such kind of information, such kind of explanation about all these things. Similarly, it's about data wrangling. So here data wrangling basically means is wrangle out the data. So wrangle out the data means extracting out the data, transforming the data, and then leading out the data to the other segments. So data wrangling is basically, if we extract out as much as possible, we try to find out various data points, the much data points which we can think of, the much data points which we can explore of, and try to connect our system, try to connect ourselves with those data points so that we can get as much as possible, the data as much as possible. Next is the machine learning. So machine learning is basically, if we say that doing the prediction part basically comes is under machine learning. Here we are trying to making our machine learn from the data which we are actually providing it, by filtering out some certain parameters, certain variables, and after filtering them out, we are making our machines that look over this data, learn from this data, and try to, after understanding it, using some mathematical computation things, please provide us the predictions that how we can, after looking at these aspects, what are the predictions we can think of, and how we can benefit in the future aspects. Next is about this of software engineering. So here software engineering is basically, it plays a very important role when we go for the deployment of the model. We can play data on our remote laptop, or on the local access, I mean on any local desktop or laptop. We can apply machine learning algorithm on our own systems also. But when it comes to deployment of those models for a particular organization, or when it comes to applying those models which is going to impact on a very large scale, so a knowledge of software engineering also plays a very important role. Because now it's not only about extracting out the data and playing with it. It also comes how we are going to display this, how we are going to showcase this, how we are going to showcase our details about the model aspects, the inferences which we are getting out. So there comes a chance that we need to create an application for it. We need to create a system architecture for it in such a way that we can easily represent, we can easily showcase our details of the model, or the details of the predictions which we are trying to create, and how we are actually also trying to showcase our results, or showcase our different reports which we are creating or extracting out from the data. So for that, software engineering knowledge also comes. So what I mean from the software engineering in a nutshell, I can say, is the knowledge of back-end and front-end process, or maybe we can say like languages which are used to create a website, or languages. This is just an example, like for a website, if we want to create a website on which we want to showcase the results of the machine learning algorithms which we are using for any particular problem statement to solve. So that will also play a very keen role, a very important role here, because showcases at the end, that's very important, that's what matters. So similarly, such kind of knowledges regarding the languages also is very important. Next is multivariable calculus and linear algebra. So that's a mathematical portion. So here mathematical portion is mostly being used when we go for the algorithms, or when we try to create certain algorithms as per our data, as per the looking over the data. We try to apply various calculus in linear algebra and determinant matrix, and then try to understand that we need to create here an algorithm where we are going to use only this much of calculus, or this much of principal component analysis, and try to resolve it and create a new solution for that. So it is being mostly used by machine learning engineer and the data scientists. So in a nutshell, this after explaining you all these points, I basically have segmented out that all these particular segments, all these important categories, all these important features plays if we define them or separate them on the basis of designations. how much importance they play in a particular designation role. So as you can see, that data analyst, machine learning engineer, data engineer, data scientist, the dark circle represents it. These are the very important role, very important segments. These categories plays a very important role. Similarly, a light color shows that they are somewhat important. Having exposure towards them would be very good, and you should have a knowledge about it. And the small and light blue color circles represent that they are not that much important. It is not going to harm you if you don't have that knowledge, whether you are working in that particular field. But as I clearly mentioned that it is always better to make yourself expose yourself towards getting knowledge in all these segments as much as possible, because we don't know that what this changing time is going to make us feel about. And also these jobs, roles and responsibilities are created by us only, so these need not going to be fixed. They can also vary with the organization. So why not give more importance to the aspects which actually plays a keen role in the whole data science journey, then giving much more importance to the designation? Because trust me, what matters most is that you have a detailed knowledge, you have a detailed experience and exposure towards understanding of the data and the knowledge, and your expertise in programming languages and utilization of working over different algorithms. These points will certainly going to play a major role whether you apply for as a data analyst or machine learning engineer or data engineer or data scientist. Now next is about how we can grab for a job and during this COVID-19 job search during COVID-19 situation, how we can particularly look for that. So the first point which I mostly want to emphasize particularly is about have a compassion and perseverance. That's very important about it. If you really want to indulge yourself in this field, try to make yourself compassionate about it and have a strong perseverance about it, that whatever be the time is asking, whatever it is, I really want to do a transition. And trust me, it's not that hard. The business is getting impacted, yes, definitely, but it is still is not that hard. You can still grab your job, you can still go and look at the opportunities which are available and try to knock them hard as much as possible. But that can only be possible until and unless you become a very strong soldier and you have a very strong arsenal. And in your arsenal, it's not should be only about the having a knowledge of programming language, but as I said, it's like making your arsenal as strong as possible by making yourself as much as skillful, as much as you know expertise in different level, and try to have all this knowledge in a more proper manner, in a more better manner. So I here try to want you to suggest some options which I have also tried on. So like connections on LinkedIn, increase your network. So it definitely plays a very good role. We during these COVID-19 situations, many people are have lost their jobs. Even if we take an example of IIMs, the IIMs where the students who usually get summer interns, their summer interns are getting cancelled, which actually plays a very key role in their pre-placement offers. So it's not only the it's a global recession which everyone is facing. Everyone is going through this tough time, and here in these tough times, only the connections or the referrals play some sort of very important role here. So that's why I want to emphasize that try to connect on LinkedIn as much as possible, and try to increase your network. Try to connect with each and every other person who is related to the particular domain which you like, or maybe related to a particular person who is working in and using those modeling techniques, or trying to solve those particular techniques as much as possible. That will actually help you and also will expose you in their network, so that you can connect with them and get an information about if there is any job opportunities available or not. Then other point is that try to reskill yourself with the latest technologies used. Now this is very important. Like before before this COVID-19 situation, the technologies and the IT segments, whatever they are using the technologies, the companies can still reside over the old technologies which they are being using. Their architecture can be old, and they were having a bit of trust over it. But as the COVID-19 situation has popped up and it has really impacted worldwide, so now the importance has been given much more towards the cloud technologies. They actually have uh, I would say the involvement of although all the companies were switching towards the cloud technology, but now I would say the request of raising changing their architectures have been exposed to exponential level. So we also need to it become very important that we also become very much familiar with how cloud technologies basically works. And the most common cloud technologies which we can think about is Google Cloud or AWS. So making ourselves much more clear about how what is it basically cloud environment, how we can learn about it, how we can utilize this cloud technologies, and which can act as a data lake. And through this data lake we can extract out the data and perform various segments and various aspects and try to indulge our algorithms overall it. So this is also very important. I would say that please reskill yourselves with the latest technologies which the industry is actually emphasizing on. Next is build your portfolio on platforms like GitHub or maybe your own blogs or mediums or websites. So it's great that you are acquiring all these knowledges on your aspect, but we really need to represent them also. And especially during this time, I would say representation of all your experiences, representation of all your knowledges is very, very important. So that it's not necessary that we need to send our resume. It's not important. We can actually showcase our knowledge, we can showcase our aspects, our intuition toward different things which we had inculcated while playing with the data as much as possible by writing various blogs on Medium or any other website. So we can think about. So if we try to explore and in such a way try to create our portfolio over it, it will really help us to showcase our knowledge what we have. And it will also help to build a great confidence, not only in oneself, but also when we apply for any jobs. So that also create a sort of confidence among the other recruiters that looking over the aspect that this person has actually have a knowledge and actually have showcased it on a platform, so that we can also understand it, look over it, and judge it in a much more better way. So I would suggest try to build your portfolio on platforms like this. Also, make multiple projects as much as possible and try to make projects in different domains which are affected during this pandemic. Now, this is very important. See, first of all, making yourself comfortable with all the knowledges which are required is one point, and showcasing your knowledge and your experience and expertise in a much more better way, and that's totally a different point. And the second point plays a key role, because second point is actually establishes yourself as how much skilled you are when it comes to problem statement, when it comes to resolve any kind of situations and all. So the projects are the one thing which actually showcases that. And especially when we talk about data science projects, so it becomes very important that you make certainly a lot of data science projects with and especially with related to the different domains. And what can be better if you just look over the particularly the most affected domains right now and try to understand them and think about various inferences which we can think of. We need to if we try to create this kind of projects in the domains which are mostly affected, like for example retail industry is being impacted a lot. So it can actually play a very important role in your doing the transition in the data science field, that you are finally at this crucial time you are understanding a domain which has been impacted due to COVID-19, and try to extract out the important parameters which can actually help to transform how retail industry can look over it, which how they can also utilize these things. So this will also make you much more we can say comfortable with those domains. So a particular person needs to make multiple projects as much as possible. This should be there on your priority list. Next is prefer to take up internships or projects from portals or websites. So it's not necessary to go and shoot for the star. I mean, what's more important is that first of all, you need to get an exposure in the field of data science. And if you're getting that exposure through, as an internship or as a part-time or full-time, I think every such kind of opportunity is a golden opportunity right now, because getting your experiences and building your portfolio is one thing which is going to stay with you a lot. And this portfolio which you will create by doing various internships and part times or full times will actually uh, play a major role in going for the next job, shooting for the next star, if you can say. So such a kind of experiences really describes that what kind of person you are and how much curiosity and adaptability you have within yourself, even if the situation is not right towards you, even if the situation is more sort of not providing much opportunities, but you are willing to look over the other opportunities which are available and try to upgrade yourselves, try to reskill yourselves as much as possible. Because it's not like data science. First of all, I just want to make this point very clear that just like every other every other domain, data science domain is also getting affected due to recession globally, because recession sort of thing is happening globally, but it is not that much impacted, because such kind of situation has actually led to emphasize this point in every organization, that we need to make our systems on an automated manner. We need to indulge our organization and taste give our organization a flavor of artificial intelligence and data science, because at this crucial point of time, automating the procedures by using artificial intelligence and try to understanding the nature and modeling aspects is actually helping the organizations. And if we look over the aspects, the companies which are mostly dependent upon data science fields, they are working very fine, and they are still are getting a lot of opportunities and work regarding their various clients and all. So their business is not that much impacted if we compare with the other industries and other segments. Also, the last point which I want to hear extract out is utilize the job portals as much as possible. So there are many job portals, as you know, like Naukri, Indeed, and AngelList, and all these. So as per the situations, COVID-19 situations, they have also tried to upgrade their system. And by upgrade their system, I mean they have like introduced some certain filters which can actually help you in searching your jobs. Like for example, if we look over the AngelList, so AngelList have provided certain filters like COVID verified hiring and remote worldwide, or maybe remote location preferable on the particular location on which you are selecting. So try to explore these portals right now as much as possible, because uh, you you don't need to be a person who fall right back in this phase when the market is also trying to connect themselves as much as possible and looking for the opportunities here. So try to explore them. And just like I give you an example of Angelus, there is also one more Naukri. As Naukri.com is also trying to extract out the details through the surveys from the employers and also from the employees, so that they could get the information that how much uh, in which companies hiring is going on, and in which companies the layoff is going on, so that better job opportunities could be provided to the every applicant who is looking in the Naukri.com. So please go towards it. Please go and understand and explore these job portals as much as possible, and also try to consider all these points which I have make you go through it, because these are definitely the points which will help you in doing a transition. And trust me, if you just especially focus in building our portfolio, trying to create multiple projects, and mostly making ourselves adaptable with the situation, and going for any kind of opportunities like internships or full times or part times, so that we could get a flavor of data science as much as possible in a very fast way, it will play a key role in it. Last point which I actually want to emphasize is that whatever the situation is right now, we should not make ourselves dependent upon the situation, because we are pretty much strong, and we need to make ourselves more stronger by making our arsenal as strong as possible. And always try to remember this thing, that we are just like every single person is just like a legendary hero who is sailing a powerful ship on an epic journey. So this epic journey can consist of some good times, some bad times, some hard times. So right now it is a hard time for each and every other person, but we are, and what we think is we need to be a hero here, legendary hero, and our life ship is in our hand, and we can sail it the way we want, and we can do it. And for that we actually need to make ourselves much more clear and much more better in different aspects possible. So if market demands you to have a knowledge of I would say some algorithms, so you need to make yourself much more comfortable and try to go and shoot for those algorithms and try to understand that what's the math behind, what we can learn through it, what we can try to explain through it. Similarly, what I want to understand and explain here is that if you think that you are working hard, then think harder. Because sometimes what happens is that we try to learn as much as possible, and we certainly get a feeling of satisfaction during our journey, and we try to think that this is the kind of, as after learning a lot, we can see that these kind of situations are, or these kind of problem solutions are mostly being used in the organization. So if I have a knowledge about these particular skills, so it's fine. I think we should not stop there, because to solve certain problem solution, it is not necessary to have one single way. There are multiple ways to solve a particular problem solution or a business statement. So we need to think harder about other aspects also, that what will happen if we are not able to perform this particular aspect, which is very common and can be utilized in any problem statement. So try to make yourself much more open, indulge yourself in such a way that you become much more open in your aspect, and try to resolving any problem statements with different ways as much as possible. So if we talk about just for a simple example, I can say that uh, if you want to extract out data from certain databases and all, so SQL is a very common language. So and it's, I would say, definitely it's very important that person should learn about it and go through it. But SQL is not only the way where you know you need to concentrate over it. The other aspect is that Python can also help to collect and extract out the data, and with the help of Python you can perform in a much more better way. So try to explore such things, try to understand how these languages can also there is not only dependence on one language. We can understand and utilize other languages also to try to perform our work. So think harder and go for all these things and learn as much as possible. The next point is a very important point. Actually want to put a very important mark over it, that the storytelling skills of project is very important. So it's very important that whatever the project we are trying to create in the data science field, we are easily able to explain what we are actually trying to do here. So it's not necessary that by project I mean to say that extracting out the data, then applying the machine learning algorithm and try to present some sort of solutions. Like for example, our model is giving us an accuracy level of this, and we can understand over if we apply through statistical methods, then we can say that R square value, our model is providing an R square value, which is very, very good in such way. These are not actually the solutions which our project should explain. Our project should explain the solutions in much more in a in a business terms, in such a way that our these are the statistical values or the values which actually provide us a fact that our things are working great, and we can suggest such kind of options if certain problem arises. So we need to represent our such kind of facts in a more we can say in a more layman terms, or what we can say is in such a way that it can suggest a way to improve any sort of business statement or the problem solution, business solutions sort of thing. So instead of focusing on accuracy and what is the accuracy and how much is the values of the F test and T test, those are very important things. But we also need to understand that how we can, after understanding these values, how we can showcase them in a more sort of problem statements, which has been given to us, or in a business statement in a much more better way, because that will make much more sense. So it will create a story that once you started with the problem statement, you try to collect all those data, and then the solutions, the result which you are getting statistically, you are using those statistical results and try to showcase them in much more business terms, in a much more layman terms. So this will actually help to understand any employer, I would say, who is taking your interview, and will connect very easily with all the projects which you are trying to perform. It will also showcase that how much you are connected with a particular domain on which this project is related to. It will also showcase that how you have a business acumen, when it's not only important to getting results out of all the things. It is very important to also using your critical thinking and explaining these results in a business term. So that will actually showcase that how you are very much connected when it comes to any sort of domain on which this particular project is being built. Similarly, last point I would say that understand, have a basic understanding that how different domains are working under these situations. And having a simple knowledge about their working and how their work is being impacted, especially in this COVID-19 situations. So this will actually also develop your thinking that how we can think about improving, and what are the technologies we can think about improving these segments. And currently where is we can see a little boom, and we can concentrate on searching for jobs in those segments, in those domains. So yes, I would say this. And yeah, that's all from my side. Over to you, Anugrah.
Thank you so much, Suryansh. That was a really knowledgeable session. So we will quickly hop on to the questions part, and we actually had a lot of questions coming in. So the first one was from Abhismit Patnaik. His question was this is a question which was kind of related to a lot of the questions which were put by other people as well. Can a non-computer science student become a data scientist? That is what his question is, and he has mentioned that he is a management student.
Okay, so I mean, becoming a data scientist, first of all, is it's not that hard. It also depends upon the organization on which you are applying, because what matters most is getting yourself much more information. As I already explained it, you need to make yourself much more knowledge in the aspects of data, how data is working. And you need to have a knowledge of how the algorithms, different algorithms, actually play a role, and provide the solutions which you can look for, you can get all that for. So I would say if any person who is in the last year of their college, having a computer science background, I would say getting much more experience in as I could say that you have an experience in your computer language. So what matters most is to try and look over the statistical portion, try to understand it, because only language is not going to provide any sort of result. We need to actually prove our results, that whether they are right or wrong. So statistics, a good importance of statistics, and try to utilize your computational skills in the statistical point of view. That will actually help. Like for example, I can give you an example that we have a knowledge of using Python and all. So if we take an example of diabetic patients, we try to understand in the world scenario that how diabetic patients are actually uh, what are the aspects that actually play a key role in understanding whether a patient is diabetic or not. So how we can statistically prove it, how we can look at the particular aspects which can actually tell us that okay, this particular variable, if we think of, is an important role to segment out this particular patient is diabetic or not. So by with the help of computer science knowledge, you can utilize and take out the data as much as possible. But with the help of statistical knowledge, you can actually prove, and you can utilize those statistical packages, those concepts in the computer science language and terms, with the languages like Python and all, and you can justify your result. So get yourself much more exposure towards working in a statistics, getting acquire of the statistics knowledge as much as possible. And especially if I say for the ones who are in IIMs, or maybe in the business school, any business school, who are in going for the management level. So I would say for you, it becomes much more important is to have a knowledge of, you know, I would say business analytics. So that means that if you are going for any managerial job, so what important is that to understand what the client requirement is, try to extract out the crux of what the problem statement, the business statement is basically explaining us, and then after understanding it, how you can extract out the data, and what that data needs to be represented. Because when it comes to managerial level, we are pretty much clear about the starting point and about the end point. I mean, at the managerial level, what happens is that we know about the certain problems which we are facing, and we also know that this is a kind of product we actually want to create. So we have an end vision, and we have a end product. we have an initial problem vision with us. So here what I think with the help of data science you can actually try to connect those things by creating how to get data about the problem statement that you have, and what kind of architecture you need to create about that particular data, and how that data needs to flow towards it, and what should be the scenarios, different scenarios that are included, and how we can statistically create reports and perform simple analytics so that those dashboards will help us to showcase about what the problem statements we are having. So I think such kind of knowledge, getting yourselves much more in the knowledge, especially when it comes to business analytics side of thing, that will help you. And how become a data scientist, I would say it totally depends upon the organization. If organization sees that you really have a good amount of potential and you have a good knowledge, they can then they would definitely go and trust you with the tag of data scientist. But I would say, as I always focusing more on getting acquiring much more knowledge as much as possible, this will this will actually will play a very key role in giving you the tag like machine learning engineer or data scientist. And trust me, it's not so difficult. It's what matters most is just make yourself much more expose yourself much more in the different things which are being used, and get an experience level as much as possible, and understanding a good understanding over it. Yeah.
Thanks, Suryansh. I think the next question is already being answered in one of the presentations. So Jones and Yugansh have asked like, what are the projects that you have worked upon, and where like you can access those. So if you can just quickly, briefly, just repeat on those once again, so that it will be much more helpful for them.
Yeah, sure. So I have worked on many projects. I would say, like in the duration of my course only, which was for the 6 to 8 months. So there I think I have worked on 25 projects, and those are. It's not like I have created all those portfolios, but I have in my system around 25 projects, and those were all personal projects that were created by me. And by those projects, I don't mean that they were end-to-end solutions. Those are mostly like I created some particular projects, maybe we can say some mini projects, like how we can extract out the data in more than one way. Like for example, I was very much want to explore various databases and try to connect, search for the adapters and try to look for the Python adapters so that we can connect and extract out those data. Like for example, if we are using a database of post GRE SQL, so how I can connect it using in the I want to use the Python language, how can I connect with as an adapter? So for that I search for the scop g2, I try to acquire that knowledge, I try to create a certain database, a table sort of thing, and then after using that table, I connected scop g2 with scop g2 and try to perform simple insights, simple inferences, and try to also improve those table results or details as much as possible. So in that manner, I've created a lot of projects in different domains also. Like for example, I was also very much in looking over the land acquisition in Jammu and Kashmir. So for that I went for the data.gov.in website, the government website, which have a data of how the land is being used in Jammu and Kashmir. So I try to understand it, try to look over it, how the forest area is covering it, by looking over other data sets and try to connect all those aspects. And like for example, the population data, I was also looking over the population data. I have created a project over it, and then I have worked on very simple projects also, like customer churning, lead scoring. I have also created on lead scoring. That's also you can look over. Certain, I would say, diabetic patients, as I have said you. Then loan prediction, that was also very common in that time, so I performed that. And uh, like HR analytics, that how we can understand a particular employee is good to get raised or good to get promotion and all. So such kind of exposure I get. And I would say, if you really want to get more idea about what particular projects you can look upon, definitely go for the hackathons, definitely go for the websites like Kaggle and Analytics Vidya, because such websites really consist of very good data sets and really consist of good problem statements, which can you can use them and try to solve them. So but emphasize more on solving those projects as much as possible.
Thanks, Suryansh. The next question comes from Jones. He asks, "Great learning, do you cover deep learning too?" So the answer to this question is yes. Deep learning is covered in various programs that we have. So definitely you can go and check them out. Yeah. The next question is from Sarang. He says, "Can I use data science in stock market?"
Yes, Sagar, yes, definitely. We can use data science in the stock markets, and I think financial modeling is one aspect, is a kind of aspect you are asking to me. And in financial modeling, we actually, the most common, I can give you an example, is time series forecasting, where we try to understand the 52 weeks or 1 year or 2 year of data, how they are fluctuating on a different timely manner, and then try to take out the moving averages, that how a particular stock is uh, as the time passes by, what's the moving averages, and how we can understand it and how we can predict it. So simple arima models we can apply and try to understand it, how the volume of each and every share is working in such a way that it is going to rise or in the upcoming days or not. So time series forecasting or financial modeling, you can look over it, and it is very I would say easily applied. Maybe we can say not to next level, because for what happens in the stock market is that it is very much dependent on certain business decisions which actually take place on a real time manner. So predicting certain kind of result, and the chances of that particular result working on that scenario, becomes very less. So that's why not much is being utilized, but definitely data science has been utilized in many more segments in the finance, especially in the finance modeling and financial markets. So yeah.
Thanks, Suryansh. So the next question, I'll quickly pick that up. I could see that there were multiple participants who were also having some questions related to the salary scale in data science. So one quick update is, if you might have already done the research from your end, you might have seen that the salary scale in data science is top notch as compared to most of the other fields. That is one. Second thing is, it will also depend on your previous package. The domain knowledge that you have, the expertise on the language that you build during any training program that you are going through, and also the performance in the interview. So based on all these four criterias, or you can actually add even more to this, the packages. So asking, like answering these questions in a generic scale might not be possible, but if you kind of go and check on these particular points, then I hope that you will be able to better come up with the answer on your own on the same. And the next question is from Krishna Raj. He says, like, tell me about job market during this pandemic. So if you can share some few words, like definitely it was already covered during this, but if you can just help Krishna Raj with the same.
Well, job market, I would say that definitely the amount of job opportunities that we have before the COVID-19 situations, those were high. Even with my experience, what I can give you is before COVID-19 situation, I was applying. I was just applying in the month of around, I think, Feb or March. I started to apply, and there were multiple companies on which I was just on the last state. My last round was left, and one of the company where I was being cracked down was in the list of top 100 data scientists, data science challenge, where I was being a part of. And I was easily able to solve that, and I was getting shortlisted. But due to this COVID-19 situation, those were getting on hold. So the opportunities definitely get impacted because of this COVID-19 situations. But there is also another aspect, and that is that the kind of impact which was being seen in the initial months when the situation actually hits really hard. Now we have actually covered a journey where we have tried to understand and accepted the situation on which we are facing and dealing. So the market is again now opening, but now when they are opening, but opening with some new strategies and opening with some new statements, with the new problems. So right now, we can say that the job market is impacted, definitely impacted at a global level, and India is also, been impacted because of this. But if you look over certain domains, those domains, I think, if you do a certain research on yourself and look over the other aspects at how COVID-19, certain, situations have led to increase in certain domains or industries which are now, improving a lot. Like, for example, media marketing, I would say that has really increased a lot. So opportunities and data science already is there in the media marketing. So for example, I can say that there are various campaigns which various clients use. So although the impact of digital marketing is been very hard, because now the clients are not able to as there are different type of clients, so they are not able to showcase their campaigns and create some advertisements so that they could buy. So digital marketing has been getting impacted a lot. So we can think that need to avoid certain kind of industry or certain kind of domain, like for example retail. Also retail has been impacted a lot. But look over the other aspects also, which are getting boomed during right now situation. Like for example, in the pharmaceutical industry, so data science is being used in the pharmaceutical industries also, where we try to understand that how the gene expressions are working, and gene expressions if working, so how we can look over the various components which are connecting, like RBCs or ABCs. So we data science also plays in that role. So it's not about the domain understanding now what this gene expression is, but what important is try that these are the knowledges that you will get once you indulge yourself or expose yourself towards the understanding of these markets. So even I have not been a part of that, but I have now get some information that how these data science has been used. So I would say job markets is still not that active, but yes, it is still active. And as the points which I have suggested, if you're definitely going to work hard on them, be compassionate, persevere about creating multiple projects, and especially designing your portfolio in such a way that that can actually become journey for most of the domains on which various opportunities are there, and you will definitely get a job. So it's not like totally scarcity of job. It's just in how you are trying to shoot a star and look for the apples and oranges. It's only dependent on you. So try to explore it, try to understand the market, and try to look over it as much as possible.
Thanks, Suryansh. So the next question was from Saurabh Patil. He was saying, any idea where I can get complete basic projects in data science? This could help in gaining much needed hands-on experience. So I'll just quickly take this up. Saurabh, you can definitely go to Kaggle and GitHub. There you will see that a lot of the projects are solved already, and it is available for you with the codes and explanation and everything. And also you can definitely visit our Great Learning's YouTube page. You will see that there will be a lot of activities and projects which are being available over there, and we keep on adding things from time to time. So definitely you can keep checking that for more on this. There was a second part to this, same question from Saurabh Patil only. He was saying that I'm transitioning from software development background to data science role. So what skills would you suggest to get acquainted with so that I could get calls for internships or jobs?
Okay, Saurabh, I would say that I was working as a quality analyst. So from quality analyst, I learn certain some skills, and I definitely then become a data scientist. So if you are having a software engineering background, or I would say anyone who's having a background totally different from even the computational languages, where the use of computational language is very limited, that is even also possible. It's not like the transition is much more easy for the person who is having a bit of taste of computer science. It's not like that. I complete my engineering from the electronics and communication. Then I was given a part of working as a quality analyst, in a testing environment, in a testing domain. But I definitely have the will and passion, and are driven in myself to look over the aspects and try to make my career in data science only. So I upgraded myself, try to reskill myself and learn as much as possible, and that's how I become a data scientist, and then right now as a consultant, data science consultant. So if you ask about the skills, I would definitely say that need to have a expertise in a particular programming language, whether that could be R or Python. That's totally up to you. So have a good expertise over it. Also try to have a good command over SQL, because SQL is a simple logical language. So you just need to understand that how we can extract out the data. Extracting out the data is very crucial and very important. Even as a data scientist, you need to extract out the data on your level also. So try to understand the importance of it and learn as much as possible. And also the most important part is statistics, because statistics is going to play this role in every aspect. After extracting out the data is the game of statistics, which will be there in your domain, and going to be as a part in applying any kind of solutions. And I think these three are the most basic ones, and then the statistics, and then also understanding of the machine learning algorithm, and especially try to learn it with the aspect of learning what's the math behind it. you need to learn about algorithm is not about what are the commands in a language is being used, but what is the actual mathematics which is being used behind that algorithm. That is very important, because that will actually help you to understand each and every algorithm, and then try to connect those mathematical application which is a part of algorithm, and understanding to connect it with the problem statement which you are facing right now. So try to make yourself comfortable in understanding how like for example how linear regression basically works. What does r square value basically emphasize, and what is the impact of its particular value I'm getting, how my particular line which I'm getting drawn, what it actually explains me about, how much error I can reduce it, how what is the value of errors I'm getting, and how can I reduce those things. So try to understand these. If I say learning about algorithms, try to learn the mathematics used behind algorithms. That will actually help you a lot. So like I suggested you Python or R or SQL and statistics, and understanding good mathematical levels of these will actually these are the things that will help you into a very simple and good transition in the data science field, and also creating projects. That's the main thing.
Thank you so much, Suryansh. That answers the last question as well. Basically, it was what all languages people need to learn and what all softwares they need to be aware of before they switch into these roles. So, yeah, so with this, we come to the end of this session. Thank you, everyone, for joining this webinar. And thank you so much, Suryansh, for making yourself available for being a part of this webinar as well. And anyone who had joined late, please feel free to go through the recording. It will be available after this session ends. So you can definitely go through this recording for going through the different things which has been discussed. And please do visit our website, that is Great Learning Academy, for free training content and as well as certification. And you can also check our YouTube page. Please do subscribe and like it. There will be a lot of content, training content related to all these things that we have discussed today over there, and it is available for free for sure. So definitely you can access all of those. Yeah. So thank you so much, Suryansh. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great day. Bye bye.
Thank you. Thank you.